just started the tank with the air pressure. There is an electric start function, but it's a different button. Throwing it into gear there, that's the real deal. This isn't CGI or a fake movie prop tank, that's the real thing. Boom. I love that.
And I'm not good with excitement. I do the depressing stuff, so it's better.
I must break you.
Being able to see after working here the realism that went into the actual tank, you know, getting in, closing the hatches, all the different switches.
The Beast of War, 1988. All right, so one of the best tank films ever made, and the tank footage in this film, just incredible. So what happened with this film is it was actually filmed in Israel, and they had support from the Israeli government, and these T-55s in this film were actually Tiran 5s. So the Israelis captured T-55s, and then they did their own modifications and conversions of them. And then you see the Tiran 5 in this film. Dead giveaways are, main one is the Tiran has that L7 105mm gun. That's a Western gun used in Centurion and Leopard 1, a few other tanks. And then how the tank is configured, the individual track links on the side of the turret there, that's an Israeli modification. The Israelis gutted the radio equipment and installed US radios. You can tell by the antenna system they mounted there. Whether they were firing real training rounds in this film is my best bet, because you can see heavy recoil, and the dust signature from those barrels is thrown out much further than a blank round would. So it wouldn't every bit surprise me if when they filmed this, the Israelis had some kind of training chalk round. They were firing a live projectile out of this and then using the Hollywood explosions on the building side of it. Then the 50 cal mounted on top, it's dressed up to look like a Dishka 12-7 Russian gun, but again, filming logistical issues at that time in Israel, a blank firing Hollywood Dishka would have been almost impossible to find in Israel. And then even if they had some captured ones they could have used on the tank, the mount is different because the Tiran 5 mount is for a Mardus 50 cal. This scene here shows incredible interior shots of the tank during its operation. And I can tell you from experience, every button they push, it's accurate. You know, he jumps in here, driver's hatch switch closing, the driver's hatch lever closing. They're plugging in their headsets for the comm gear, master power for the tank. He yells out turret power, but as soon as you hit that master switch, power just gets sent through the junction box into the turret. Obviously, the drills in this film are Western drills. So the technical advisor for this film was Captain Dale Dye, the famous military technical advisor. He did films like Platoon and a lot of others. So the crew drills and commands used in this are for Western military.
What's wrong? What's wrong? Get it out of here!
But yeah, all those switches on the dash. He just started the tank with the air pressure. There is an electric start function, but it's a different button. Throwing it into gear there, that's the real deal. This isn't CGI or a fake movie prop tank, that's the real thing. Really cool tank scene.
Up!
Yeah. So the loader he even puts that round in, and he has to hit that loader's safety switch because it won't fire until he does, and then the gunner pulls the trigger. So the Beast of War, my pick for accuracy in a tank film, I'm going to give it a 10 out of 10 for cool factor. It has some awesome one-liners for tank films, tank veterans, And then the realism of it, the fact that they used real to run tanks, and they had that support from the Israeli government. Every shot inside that tank you see, it's the real thing. There is no Hollywood CGI. I'm going to give it a 9 out of 10 for realism.
Okay, so we're doing the ambush scene in The Beast, 1998. So going over maintenance and whatnot in the film, finds a hand. Is there cause a problem? Get ambushed.
Back it up!
Thing that I can appreciate about this scene, especially coming, I don't have prior armor background before working at Battlefield Vegas, but being able to see after working here the realism that went into the actual tank, getting in, closing the hatches, all the different switches. I like, we deal with what we call naked tanks versus our dressed up tanks. Something I like in here is they have little kill counts and little, this particular one has a Soviet momentum on the side, as well as, like a scantily clad girl that dresses up the side. Those little personal details to me kind of make it more, it shows that the crew's more attached to the tank themselves, something that I kind of appreciate.
Fire! On the way.
Something that always gets me in any of these tank scenes is everyone always throwing a ton of small arms fire at a tank, especially in this particular part where they're driving away and expecting to hit it with a little bit of rounds. And then, of course, the guy with the RPG doesn't know how to use it. Yeah, so overall, I think the Beast is definitely one of those films that they go into the little details that the rest of the tank films don't get into, and that's something I really appreciate. It makes it one of the better films that I've seen. So realism, definitely going to be 8, maybe 9 out of 10. There are those little movie factors, but that's to be expected in any scene. And then, cool factors, 10 out of 10, because you really can't beat the Beast.
Nobody wastes my time.
Oh, nothing. Oh. Whoa! Whoa! Yeah! Okay!
Get back in the tank.
What for?
Because I said so.
We're going home, sir.
In the tank.
Why can't we go home in a fucking helicopter?
Because you're tankers.